My sister told me that if her boyfriend wasn't invited, she wasn't coming to my wedding at all. He's loud, rude, gets drunk at family events, and once made my cousin cry at her baby shower. I told her I wasn't risking that on my wedding day, and now she's calling me selfish. Before you pass judgment, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and weigh in down in the comments. This story is about family, boundaries, and knowing when to say enough. Your opinion matters, so let's decide together. Was I being protective or just petty? So, I'm getting married in 3 months. I've been planning this day for over a year, and all I really want is for it to be peaceful, joyful, and totally drama-free. Sounds simple, right? Not. Because my younger sister, she's 26, has been dating a guy, let's call him Jake, for about 8 months now. And he's a problem. To be clear, I don't like Jake. My parents don't like Jake. Most of the family, honestly, doesn't like him. But we've all been polite. We've smiled at family dinners. We've nodded during his long-winded, awkward stories. We've tolerated him. But lately, tolerating him has gotten harder. Jake is the kind of person who needs to be the center of attention. No matter the event or occasion, it becomes about him. He constantly interrupts people, literally mid-sentence. He talks over everyone. At my mom's birthday dinner, while she was opening her presents, he randomly launched into this story about his ex. No context, no connection, just hijacked the moment because he couldn't handle not being the loudest voice in the room. Worse, he's glued to his phone during conversations, like you're boring him unless he's the one speaking. It's like being in a room with a toddler and a podcast mic. But the breaking point for me was at my cousin's baby shower 6 weeks ago. The event started around 1 p.m. By 2 p.m., Jake was drunk, not tipsy, slurring his words, stumbling into people, drunk. And then he picked a political fight with my uncle, a huge fight. Name-calling, shouting. It got so bad my uncle stormed out. My cousin was in tears. It was supposed to be her day. She had spent weeks planning that shower, and it ended in complete chaos. I was mortified. We all were. My sister apologized afterward, said Jake had been really stressed from work. But come on, being stressed doesn't excuse ruining someone else's baby shower. It wasn't even the first time he'd embarrassed us. At Christmas, he made a joke about our dad's weight, right in front of him. Loud enough for everyone to hear. And it wasn't funny. It was mean. So when I sat down to finalize the guest list for the wedding, I had to make a decision. A real one. Not a fantasy version of how I wish things were, but how they are. And I told my sister, "You're invited." Of course. But Jake isn't. I kept it respectful. I told her I didn't feel comfortable having someone at my wedding who had caused so much disruption at other family events. My wedding wasn't the place to take a gamble. That maybe if they were still together in the future and things improved, we could revisit the idea. But not now. Not with what I've seen. And then she lost it. She said I was being controlling and selfish. I was judging Jake unfairly. She said he had apologized and was working on his drinking. That I was acting like a Bridezilla and trying to ruin her relationship out of spite. And then she dropped the bomb. If Jake isn't invited, then I'm not coming either. I was stunned. She's supposed to be my maid of honor. We've been planning this for over a year together, talking about dresses, playlists, and late-night phone calls about centerpieces. And now she's threatening to throw it all away for a guy she's known for less than a year? She hasn't stopped texting me, accusing me of trying to control her life, telling me I'm choosing my ego over her happiness, saying I'm making a huge deal over something that won't even matter in 5 years. But here's the thing, it matters now. Because my wedding is not a rehab center for someone working on their drinking. It's not an open mic for offensive jokes or awkward stories. It's not a place to test if Jake can behave himself. It's my day, and I should be allowed to feel safe, supported, and drama-free. And still, I've been losing sleep. My mom, ever the peacekeeper, thinks I should just let him come to keep the family together. She says banning Jake is too extreme, that we should trust him to behave this time, that it's just one day, and I'm letting a grudge overshadow the big picture. But my dad and my fiancé, they're on my side. They remember the baby shower. They remember Christmas. They don't want me walking down the aisle while secretly wondering whether the next explosion is just a few drinks away. And yet the idea of my sister not being at my wedding, it breaks my heart. We've been close our whole lives. We were each other's first friend. I never imagined my wedding day without her by my side. And now, she's making it feel like I'm the one tearing the family apart. But is it wrong to have boundaries? Would I be a worse sister if I gave in and invited someone who might ruin the most important day of my life? Or am I already a bad sister for putting my happiness above hers? As of now, she stopped responding to my messages. I think she's really serious about not coming. My maid of honor, gone. My mom keeps trying to fix things, suggesting compromises like he can come but not drink, or have someone keep an eye on him. But that just feels like babysitting a grown man I barely know. That's not fair. Not to me, not to my fiancé, and not to our guests. I feel stuck. Do I cave just to keep the peace? Or do I hold the line and risk breaking my sister's heart and maybe our relationship? So now I turn to you, the internet jury. I love my sister, but I also love myself. And I love my future husband. And I want our day to feel like ours, not like a disaster waiting to happen. So tell me, am I the asshole for banning my sister's boyfriend from my wedding, even if it means she might not show up at all? Drop your judgment in the comments. Should the bride hold her boundary, or should she let Jake come to save her relationship with her sister? Hit like if you've ever had to choose between peace and family, and subscribe for more real-life dilemmas like this one.